here today with Robert Rudy, flown out from Montreal to be with us today, and it's great to have you here.
Great to be here, Chris. Pleasure.
Rob spoke to my key group yesterday, my CEO group today, on innovation, how to innovate to win. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about him before he dives into his presentation. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. I've been first of all, speaking with a tech group here, TEC Canada, and I was a TEC member for 12 years in Montreal, became a speaker in 2019. So I know the community really well, love this community, and it's always an honor, privilege to be able to share insights, learn and grow. So that's pretty much my focus. I do work on strategy, leadership and innovation with different mid-sized companies across North America, privately held, and a real pleasure to be able to speak to tech groups across North America as well on that.
Great.
Yeah.
And now we've heard you speak on strategy before, but today and yesterday you were speaking on innovation, which is a subject and a topic that's very dear to my heart as an innovator and a disruptor. Tell us a little bit about what's the difference between your message that you were sharing with us and how people often talk about innovation.
I think it starts, first of all, with when we use the word innovation, typically we move to the thought of product, which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. We do want to have product innovation, but we don't want to start and end the definition there either. There are many ways we can innovate. Our business model, our processes, our network, the customer experience, and it's in our interest to be able to look at those, to be able to rationally look at them and know our market, and then say, you know what, within this marketplace, let's evaluate ourselves. Let's see how we are doing when it comes to customer experience and service, our own ability to actually move process along and be adaptable to change. These are all innovative ideas, but we don't often really see the picture on that. So there's a model I use called the 10 Types of Innovation that really, I think, brings clarity to what that topic means. And with the tech community, a chance to talk to a CEO group and a key group. These are first, typically VPs. These are people who really can move that conversation along and really set the stage in a company for being broadly able and adaptive to innovative ideas.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know yesterday I spoke to my key group, which is made up of ops managers and marketing managers, C-suite executives, essentially, finance managers, and normally when we talk about innovation, it's not something that's getting discussed across all areas of the business. It's typically only being discussed in one or two areas in the business. So when we started identifying 10 different types of innovation in the different areas and the different phases of the business, and it was a bit of an eye-opener for quite a few of my senior VPs and C-suite. Today, from a conversation with CEOs and entrepreneurs and business owners, that was a really good conversation as well, because a lot of them are thinking about it only from a product or a service perspective. And so maybe share some of the other areas of the business where we can be really zeroing in and exploring innovation opportunities.
I'd love to. Configuration-wise, we have an option and an opportunity in our business to look at our configuration, how we're structured, how we're built, to see whether or not it really meets the needs of the market we're servicing. So is the structure, is the network really strong? And I use examples that we know and we appreciate these companies. They were disruptors, perhaps they're not known for that today. I could use Airbnb as an example, but we do know that they built an incredibly strong network and disrupted in a marketplace that felt probably pretty comfortable for a long time. There is a lot of other opportunities that a business owner would have when it comes to configuration as well. The profit model itself. Are we really inclined to take a look at how we make money and how we drive our pricing, and perhaps think of other ways people can go and meet with us when it comes to the product. It's also the product system. Many of you have probably heard the story about Gillette, which is obviously a global company, respected and been around for so many years, and they have a product system We know the story of the blades and the razor being sold as a way to make sure people do appreciate and continue to use that product. How do we imagine that could happen in our business if we're not in a consumer products company? Could it happen in B2B? And the answer is yes. It's happening across all different types of industries, Chris.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. I know some of the other examples you shared were companies like Starbucks, Lexus.
Yeah, service.
Who are some of the others?
We had Tesla for just the brand experience that people do appreciate. We looked at Caterpillar as just making products that are really, people rave over the product quality. And of course the brand itself has been fairly strengthened over time. And the key is, when we're looking at innovation, and we're a privately held company, we want to look at not just one thing and look at it as a standalone. Our targeted market, the people who are our end users, our buyers, they want to know that we're good at many things that could bring a lot of appeal to our offering. The service experience, the customer experience, the brand, the product positioning, the outcome the product does for somebody. So this model will ask us as first presidents, but VPs as well, how do we look at our business and take a look and realize that we're all really responsible for innovation?
Yeah, so true. It's what I loved about the presentation today and yesterday was it was a much more holistic approach to innovation, as opposed to just zero in on one particular area of the business. So I know in the activities that we worked through and exercises we worked through the last couple of days, it really got the creative juices flowing. And there's an opportunity for our leaders to go back to their companies tomorrow and next week and start having conversations with their leadership team. And whether they pull together, just their leadership team, or whether they pull together some other people from within their organization, maybe they're on the front line, irrespective of the industry, and start having conversations in all areas of the business. Because the reality is that C-suite or that president, CEO, founder, they don't have the knowledge and expertise down in each of the areas of the business as the line managers do. So if we can get those line managers involved in the conversations and asking them the questions around how can we be looking at innovative opportunities in their areas of the business that might be outside of the knowledge of the executive, that's a huge opportunity. What were some of the specific tools that we can be using around that, Rob?
There's quite a few, actually. So we first want to be able to, if you are that president of a company or a VP and very interested in this, you want to first bring this model. And by the way, this is a public domain model. It's called the 10 Types of Innovation by Keeley. So it's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be able to bring this to people, but you can be able to pick up a copy of this and workshop with your team how we would define innovation. One thing few things I would bring up, always match it to value. It's really important that we don't just do something innovative because we think it's innovative. It has to drive value for an end user, for a buyer, etc. So we always have to keep that at the center part of our discussion. A lot of the rest of the work then comes a workshop on what these different types mean. How would we actually reflect on where we are? So we would have assessment tools to be able to assess where we are, present day snapshot. We then want to take a look and say to ourselves, you know what, the evidence shows that if you're pretty good, if you're actually really good at about 5 of the 10 types, you're probably driving a whole lot of value for a whole lot of your marketplace. You're doing well, your clients are doing well, and the stakeholders involved here are going to be pretty happy. You don't have to be great at all 10 to be able to say that you're innovative, but you do want to find strength in about 5 of them.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. Thank you very much again for sharing that, Rob. Again, it's a pleasure to have you here in Vancouver.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Safe travels back to Montreal.
Thank you, Chris.
All righty.